Hello, hi, I'm Mark Smith. I'm a SIAM specialist with Okta, and today we're going to be covering user self-service for Okta devices. The actual template is titled Okta Devices Review. The problem: users often change or replace their devices, particularly cell phones. As a user, I want to be able to suspend a device if I no longer use it without having to contact my Okta administrator. What we're demonstrating today is a workflow that will query a user's devices and display that list to an end user via Slack. Via the Slack interface, a user can see the current status of each device that they have registered with Okta. The user also has the option to suspend or activate each device. Now let's have a look at the actual template. Once you've added the template to your workflow instance, you get a total of 16 flows within the Okta Devices Review folder. The main flow being the API endpoint, and this is what Slack uses to communicate with workflows. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go in and copy the actual endpoint itself. So open it up the API access and copy the invoke URL, and we need to save this for a subsequent step when we add this to Slack. There's also 3 tables, device list and device ID working tables, but the main table here is the config table. We've got a Slack signing secret. This will be updated later in a subsequent step. Domain, so this is where you need to set your domain. You might as well go and do that now, so update that to your actual fully qualified domain name. We also have a device icon. This is just used in the display. You can leave this as it is. Quite welcome to go and change that later on. Okay, now we're going to go and create our Slack application. Okay, now you need to log into your Slack workspace. Once you've done that, go to the api.slack.com/apps URL, and this is where we're going to create the app that's going to be communicating with Okta workflows. You're going to hit the Create New App button. I already have an app that's already been created, so I'm going to walk you through the settings within that app, and that app is Okta Devices. Once I open up the app, first thing we need to do is go to Incoming Webhooks. We need to actually enable this. That enables Okta workflows to communicate with Slack. Then we need to go to the interactivity and shortcuts. And this is where we need to paste in that invoke URL that we've just copied from our workflow in the previous step. And this is the URL that Slack is going to use to communicate back to Okta workflows. Secondly, we also need to create a shortcut and give the shortcut a name, Review Devices, give it a description, but importantly, you need to use the review_devices callback ID. Once you've done that, we can then go to the next step. In the next step, we need to go to the OAuth and permissions on the left menu. Once you've done that, scroll down, and we need to add a number of scopes, both bot token scopes and user token scopes. So firstly, the bot token scopes, the 4 that we need to add is chat::write. We need to add links::write, users::read, and users::read.email. For user token scopes, we need to add chat::write, links::write. Once you've done that, we can then go up and then install into the workspace. Once it's been installed, then we can go and copy the bot user auth token, copy that off and save that for a subsequent step. As an optional step, you can go up to the settings and basic information on the top left, scroll down, and this is where you can optionally add in an icon and background color to your application. If you do that, then you'll need to go back up and reinstall the app to your workspace. Okay, the next step, we need to go back into the Okta administration console. and go to Applications and select the Okta Workflows OAuth application. This app is used by workflows to connect back to the underlying Okta tenant. We need to ensure that some Okta API scopes have been enabled. Open the Scopes tab and go to the bottom, and we need to make sure that Okta Users Manage and Okta Users Read both have been granted. One more thing we need to do is go to the Sign-On tab and copy the client ID and client secret. We'll need those for a subsequent step. Okay, we're now back into the Workflows console. Open up the Connections tab, and we need to ensure we have 3 connections. The Okta connection to your underlying Okta tenant, and 2 API connections, one to Slack and one a custom Okta API connector to the underlying tenant. The reason that we need this connector here is because the APIs that are used to interact with Okta devices have not yet been added to the out-of-the-box Okta connector. So we're using a custom API connector to actually invoke those APIs. So when you're creating the Slack Okta connector, I've already got mine here, but I'm going to actually reauthorize it just to actually go through the process. It's going to be a custom authorization type where we've got a header and we've got the name and value. And the header itself is authorization. And we're going to be using the token that we've copied from Slack, and this is going to be in the form of bearer space and then the actual token, and we can go and reauthorize that, and that now has been reauthorized and it's ready to be used. The same with the Okta API connector. What we need to do that is we need to choose the custom. Again, it's going to be the authorization, the header name, but the actual header value will be SSWS and space, and then a API token that we've gone and created through the Okta administration console. And then finally, if you haven't already got your Okta connector, you need to put in your domain in this instance, and we're going to use the client ID and client secret that we copied in the previous step. So I'm going to put down there the client ID, and I'm also going to copy and paste down there the client secret that we copied from the Workflows OAuth app. And then I'm just going to reauthorize that. And then once that's complete, again, that's ready to go. In the next step, we need to then associate those connectors to the actual workflow template. So I'll choose one, and the rest of them have been included in the documentation. But the Route 1 start interaction, you need to associate the API connector with your Slack connector that you've created in the previous step, and go through the flows listed in the documentation, and then ensure that all of those flows have been associated with those connectors you previously created. And then once you've done that, you will be able to then go and activate all your flows. So the template will have them in a position of off. So just go through and actually turn all of them on. During that process, you'll find out if any of those connections haven't been associated correctly, because it won't activate the flow unless it has a valid connection. We're now up to the final step. Go back into the Slack, into your workspace, open up your application, and scroll down, and what we want to do is we want to copy the signing secret. So we're going to copy that, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back into workflows, open up the tables, and then open up the config table, and then this is where we want to then go and paste the signing secret in here. And this is used to ensure that the requests are coming from your instance of Slack, and that's how we validate the request. Okay, so now we're up to testing the flows. Okay, we need some test data before we can actually test the workflow. So what we need is a user with a number of devices registered with the Okta tenant. And so what I've got here is I've got a user that has actually 3 devices registered, and we're going to log into Slack with that user, and we're going to then view those devices and maybe pick a device and suspend it, and then have a look at how that works via Slack. So I've set up my data, I'm ready to go. Okay, I've now logged on to Slack with my test user, and I'm going to invoke the application that I've created, and the shortcut is review devices with Okta. Once I've done that, up pops the first screen. It indicates the user that I've logged in with, and now I can go and retrieve my list of devices. Click the retrieve button. Once it's done, is send the request to Okta Workflows, and now it's returned the list of devices. As you can see here, it's those 3 devices that I showed you before in the administration console. It's actually listing them all as active, which is correct. And I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick the Windows 10 machine. I'm going to actually suspend that device. Click on the suspend button, calls Okta Workflows, and then once it's suspended, it's going to notify the Slack app that it's actually now suspended. And if I go back into the administration console, and if I go and do a refresh here, you'll see that it is actually suspended state, so it actually is correct. If I go back into Slack, and maybe I've, if say for example that was a phone or a tablet, I've now found it. I might have lost it previously, but now it's okay. I've got it again. I can go back and activate that device and put it back into an active state, so then I can start using it again. And you can see now it's active again. So look, that's this template, and that's how to actually implement it and get it up and running. And yeah, look, I hope this video was useful. Thank you very much.